Thank you. Have a nice day.
So just so you know, these are all £3 each, 2 for a £5. All these stacks are individually priced on them.
Okay,
yeah?
Thank you.
No problem. How you doing, mate? Right?
Yeah, good you?
Living the dream, mate, always.
Oh, that's got to.
Go on, Stu, get stuck in, right?
Every week you have something off me, every time I'm here.
Yeah, do you know what? Because you're...
I try it. I was just talking to, I can't remember his name, but I see him all the time. The other guy's got the van with all the...
Yeah, Glenn.
Yeah, so I was saying to him, I know he buys at like cash price. What I try and do is go on CX or Vintage, because look, I'm obviously a reseller.
Yeah.
So I don't want to like, I don't sell stuff for 50p, but I'll make sure it's always cheaper than what you can buy in the shops. If you're an actual collector, you'll always get it cheaper.
And that's the thing. So like because what I do is, obviously, it all goes onto a video, and then at the end of the video, or when I'm sort of showing it off, I'll say like, right, this is what it will go for on eBay. This is what it goes for on CEX and things like that.
I've got games in here where people can make money on it, but I'm not. The plan for me isn't to sell it to people. Like, I'm buying it. Not far off of the prices you are. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not all cheap to come by now, unfortunately.
No.
Sometimes you'll find an absolute bargain. I found quite a few here, but so many people chasing them now.
And that's the thing.
Yeah, they're few and far between. But yeah, so I do try to be as fair as possible.
Yeah.
Still make a couple of quid. That's right.
You ain't seen my friend buy 2 4s, have you?
No.
In that, I need to say that. Right. Yeah, I had that here before. Someone went to buy it and there's no game there.
What are the ones in that box?
These are all £3 each, 2 for a £5, and these ones are individually numbered.
Yeah. Alright, there's 41 there. Best you can do. Seeing as such an amazing repeat
that's out
customer.
of the 3 to 5.
That's out there, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that's fine. So that's 6, 7, 13,
It's like 41, isn't it?
35.
Go on, I'll do that. Yep.
That's basically a Digimon. This will go. That's going to go up and up and up.
Yeah.
Are these all
There you
yours?
go, mate. No, go for it, mate.
There you go, pal.
I've
Thank
done
you,
on
buddy.
one. Cheers.
Everything is tested as well. So don't worry about like nothing being damaged or anything. They're all good as gold.
You lift up.
Yeah, sorry, I'm going to sort these out in a minute, boy. I didn't even have a chance to.
That's all right.
Like always, it's hard. You just got to get them out, you know.
Yeah. Can you just hold that for us?
Yeah, go on, mate.
Get him in some sort of better proper order.
That one now.
No, you want that one?
No, I've got it.
Yeah. Give us 7.
Stuff on here.
Hmm?
You're one piece.
Yeah, I've just bought that lot. The guy that I normally get off.
Yeah. Oh, it goes weed now.
Oh no.
Just imagine they just smoke that.
Dude, those 3 for 30.
Let's have a look, mate. 10, 20. Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to grab them. You alright there, mate? What's you have on your clock?
5, mate.
5. Yeah, you want to grab that? There you go, mate.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. About that one, mate.
10, mate?
10.
Yeah. Oh, you got the charger, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that in the box. Do 5 on it.
Give me 8.
Go on then.
Mine's the one VHS, but that's. I look every week, but it's never going to be here.
What are you looking for?
Star Wars Episode 3. That's the old one. Right, catch you later, mate.
I'll see you later on, mate. How much do you have on your VHSs? Pound. Yeah, I'll grab that one. Yeah, so.
Maybe jump from there, but
Oh, they're £10.
I know people are going to start it, that's why I just don't expect it.
How much you got in your games, mate?
Depends on what ones they are, mate.
So, split those two.
That's 3 and that's 5.
Do both for 5?
7?
6?
6.5.
Go on, me in the middle 6.
Right.
Cheers, mate.
What ones? Them ones are £10. Them ones are £10 as well.
How much do you have on your games?
Right, so that's £7.
No, they're not.
£6.
And the other ones?
And these ones are £5.
Okay, perfect.
Do you think make you a catch?
No. Do it though. There you go. Don't hit this bloke up your head.
Don't hit this bloke up your head.
I can just imagine you'll be like, nah, that now.
No, I'll be like, oh, that's brilliant, so I can get the games for £1 then. From the bump on my head, that's what I remember.
Compensation.
Exactly.
Who just walks like that? That was a good shot.
I'm confused.
What, on what, darling?
This.
So in the box, they're £6 each. Out of the box, they're what?
£5.
£5 each. There you go.
Would you do 5 if I took all, sorry, 5. Would you take 20 if I took all 4?
Yeah.
5 each, yeah?
Yeah.
You alright?
How much did it go? 5.
40 quid, mate. It's all in there. Yeah.
Bring that one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
All the certificates and all that are in there.
5 are good.
Not sure what it trades in for.
Not missing any parts. No.
Yeah.
No.
Great name though, isn't it?
You're not having it, I'll have it.
Take 4?
No, mate, do a 5.
5 are. Oh, no, I'll have it. Don't complain.
Morning, Stuart.
You alright, how you doing?
Not bad.
Yeah.
Do you a deal with on that if you want us.
Yeah, cool.
I'll put prices, some prices on things that might be a little bit out there, but they're not necessarily what I want for things.
No,
but I
that's
see
fine.
this going for 20.
Yeah, no, to be honest, with controllers, I only tend to go for
Official.
the official ones, yeah.
Boxes on them two are not very good, but the discs are okay.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Some interesting bits on that, you know.
You're right. Second to last row. Alright. Okay, that's fine. Come and meet up with me. And we'll go round. Alright. Alright, bye.
Check the discs on them if you've got a disc machine.
I have, yeah.
It's like that. The discs ain't great on that, but
Okay.
I'll do you a better price than what it says on it.
Brilliant, cheers.
20 quid, mate, or best. 20 quid.
How much is this one?
Those are 4.
4. These are all from home, but a couple I know some of the discs ain't
amazing, but a lot of them do play. Otherwise, I wouldn't have kept them.
Okay.
Just try to be honest, you know. I think it's the Vice City disc on that was a bit.
Yeah, no, that's fine. For me, as long as they're not cracked, then yeah.
Oh, mate. What? 5. 4 quid if you want it.
Right, what will you do on that lot?
Let's have a look. Shit, 7, 11, 13, 23, 23, 17.
17?
Yeah.
Done.
Alright,
Yep.
Yeah.
You right there? Let's give another one.
£1.
Pound? Yeah, I'll grab that. There you go. Thank you.
Did you pick up another one?
I've got Asda near me, mate. I've got Asda and Aldi. I've got both. I've got a choice of both. And I've got beer there.
She just collects all the chicken stuff in the way.
That is how we lose money.
That is how we lose money.
50 quid he wanted for that game. Both games.
Yes, I know. I'm going to have a look at it.
I think they're there. I know he said if he's getting ordered the other case for it as well.
Yeah.
So as soon as he'll give it to me and I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
I know he's ordering the other case. It puts it up more, doesn't it? I looked at it and I was like, it's not really my game.
Yes, I've got one of the others, so...
You've probably got the other two, haven't you?
I've got one, I think. I don't think I've got two.
Hacker 1, Hacker 2, Hacker 3, I think it goes up to 4 or 5. Hack, it's called, isn't it?
Yeah.
Actually, my mate's got some Xboxes.
All right.
In Newington.
Right.
I know he's got some in his house.
Yeah.
So see which ones don't work when I go down there.
Yeah.
Or I'll rather try and chuck them in the back of the car. Actually, go down the fucking same market. Excuse me, folks.
So that's now down to 40 quid now. As I say, it's not a problem. What am I dropping there?
That comes along, fends as nice and stall.
Yeah, exactly. Swear on my videos. Yeah, go on, I'll grab that. Just do it quickly before the wife sees.
Anyway.
Yeah, I've just seen him.
So, nothing to do with me. I haven't made any money yet. He's making more money than I am. He made more money than me last time as well.
That's the eye. I've got the eye, the Apple Watch.
Mike was selling the Samsung one. Samsung smart one. He was selling it to him. I can't remember how much he asked for it. Like, I don't think it was expensive. I ain't got a clue on him, mate. But that's what I'll pay for it, so I've had to sell them at that price.
Do 10 for both?
I've got an 8 on him. To you, yes. No one else. I want to get rid of them, to be honest.
You had them for a while.
You can tell. They're fading, aren't they, again?
There you go. Okay, so that is going to wrap up our trips to the boot fair, and yeah, we have got some absolutely amazing new additions to the collection. I will admit I am just going to dive straight in because we've got so much to go through. I don't want a video going on too long. So diving into some of the first pickups that we've got a couple of Xbox One games, and the first one that we've got is Call of Duty Vanguard. I will be honest, I haven't actually played this yet. Because as normal with the Call of Duty games, it requires a single player to be downloaded. So yeah, real shame with that. It really does annoy me when Activision does that, because yeah, for me, I've got no, as I've said plenty of times before, got no intentions of ever buying a Call of Duty game full price, just because of the fact that the single player campaign, which is the main one that I play, is just download only. So yeah, we paid £3 for that. Goes for £12 at CEX, £11 on eBay. And as I say, the only reason to pick it up was because we didn't have a copy in the collection already. Then as well, we also got a copy of Grand Theft Auto 5 on the Xbox One. This one was purely bought as trade fodder. So we paid £3 for that. Goes for £12 at CEX, £10 on eBay, and trades in for let's say £3 voucher, an £8 voucher. So yeah, some good value in that one. Right, this next one. So as you'd have seen in the video, I actually picked up a vintage console. So this is the Interstate Multi-Sport TV game, and yeah, over the last couple of years I've been picking these up whenever I see them. I will be honest, this is probably going to be the last one that I pick up, purely from the standpoint of I've actually got no interest in them anymore. I think when I first started picking them up, I was like, oh, it's technically it's a console, I need to get it in the collection, but I'll be honest, I've got no drive to actually fit these into the games room. And I think we've got probably about 5 or 6 of these now in the collection. They're not massively expensive. They're a unique item from when they were released. And I'm not going to get rid of them, but I'm probably not going to be adding any new ones to the collection. But this one, we did get it come with the box. It is in really good condition, I do have to say that. And we also did get the mains adapter with it as well. But yeah, as I say, this will probably be the last one of these that I pick up. Paid £8 for this. Looking it up online, I could only find an unboxed price of £15. So yeah, as I say, it's probably something I'm going to sort of steer away from now, because they're just taking up room, and as I say, don't really want to get them into the games room. But moving on, we did actually pick up a couple of bits from a seller that I've actually picked up quite a bit from, across sort of both resale and gaming. So I was looking at his stall today and he had some absolute belters. So first off, we had a PS1 controller. So this is from essentially the PS1 Slim. And yeah, I've still got my original PS1. That is one in the collection. It's actually chipped, so that is what allows me to play multi-region PS1 games. But over the years, I actually lost the original controller for it. But since starting the channel and going out hunting, I think this is about the 3rd or 4th one that I've been able to track down. So yeah, anytime I see these, I'll always pick them up. Paid £4 for that. Goes for £6 at CEX, £15 on eBay. And then getting into the games that they had. So the first one that we've got is Group Challenge on the original Xbox. This was actually not too bad of a racing game. It's not one that I've ever heard of or ever played before this, but yeah, actually really enjoyed this one. The graphics, I will say, half and half. The only letdown for this was the controllers. The controls, sorry. The steering on it is so sensitive, it's unbelievable. And there was points within the gameplay that I was capturing footage for the video where I'm basically sort of ping-ponging off the sides of the track. So yeah, it's a good package, just let down by those bad controls. Paid £2 for that, goes for $3.50 at CEX, $6.50 on eBay. And then a game that we actually picked up recently on the PS2, that is Mortal Kombat Deception. So yeah, as I say, we picked this up recently on the PS2, but I saw that the Xbox One was there, so I decided to grab it, because especially in this generation, sometimes there can be stark differences between sort of the PS2 and the Xbox games, just from sort of like graphics and playability. So if I see original Xbox games, I will always tend to pick them up, even if I do have them on other consoles. So for this one, we paid £2 for that, goes for £5 at CEX, £8 on eBay. And then an absolute belter, so something that we very, very rarely see at the boot fair, is a Sega Saturn game. And I have to say, a Sega Saturn game that was in absolutely impeccable condition. Apart from sort of a bit of wear on the edges of the spine, this is probably one of the best condition Saturn games that I've picked up, especially from a boot fair. Really, really good condition. Unfortunately, it is just a golf game, but it's quite an interesting golf game, because this was, as was sort of standard at the time when this was released. It is actually a, not an FMV, but the characters are basically sort of scans of real people. And yeah, a really, really interesting one from that one. I think playability, really enjoyed it. It was right up exactly the right sort of golf game that I like, with basically the bar that you feel, and you got to get it within a certain range to actually get the good shots. So yeah, I was actually really impressed with it. As I say, it's just the ropey graphics that are always quite funny with these. So paid £2 for that. Couldn't find it listed on CEX, but it goes for £15 on eBay. And then the last one that we got from this seller was the Grand Theft Auto double pack on the original Xbox. So we've currently got this on the PS2, but as I said earlier on, if I can find something on the original Xbox that I don't currently have, I'll always pick it up. This contains both Grand Theft Auto 3 and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. If I remember rightly, this was the original way that this was released, because originally GTA 3 didn't release on the Xbox. It was a PS2 exclusive, and then later on it got ported to the original Xbox. So yeah, as I say, I love the original Grand Theft Auto games. I've been playing Grand Theft Auto right away from the first one, so yeah, anytime I can get hold of them, I will always pick them up. That one paid £7 for that, goes for £18 at CEX and £20 on eBay. Right, so next game that we've got is actually a PS4 game, and this comes from one of the resellers there. So I went up to this stall, and just before I could get to it, this reseller picked up this game, and yeah, he got a good price on it, picked it up, and the deal was done. So yeah, I was a bit gutted because I didn't have this game on the PS4. I mean, originally when I picked it up on the Xbox One, but I was speaking to him after, and I was like, oh, I can't believe you got to that before me. And he was like, oh, haven't you got it? And he's like, no, I know. Yeah, I'll start again. He was like, haven't you got it? I was like, no, I've got it on the Xbox One. I haven't got the PS4 version. And he's like, well, if you're adding it to the collection, tell you what, you can have it for what I paid for it. So I ended up getting it off him for a £5, and that was South Park: The Fractured Butthole on the PS4. So as I say, when I originally got this, I originally got it on the Xbox One, because if I remember rightly, I think console-wise, that was what I was playing it on. I think I played the Stick of Truth on the Xbox. I don't know why. I don't know why I got it. I think there might have been a bit more censorship on the PS4 version than the Xbox version. But yeah, I know that I ended up getting it on the Xbox One because I already had it on the Xbox One. But yeah, I probably got about halfway through it before I got distracted with something else. This is one I do actually want to go back to and complete. but yeah, just haven't had the chance to yet. So this one, as I say, paid £5 for that, goes for £6 at CEX, $6.50 on eBay. Right, and then next one that we've got is, I'll be honest, I can't remember which boot fair each bit come from. I think this one come from Lazybones, and it is a DualShock 4 clock. So yeah, I saw this there, thought it looked cool, thought it would go really well on the PS4 shelf, and yeah, just decided to pick it up. I think I got it for 50p. Looking it up online, they go for about £10 on eBay. And yeah, what I'd like to try and do is try and get the black one that goes with this. So basically I could have like the black and the white opposite ends of the shelves. Right, so next up we've got a couple of bits that we picked up from Nikki. So while we were at Lazybones, Nikki actually managed to get an absolutely stonking deal on a whole bundle of 2600 games. So he let me have a quick look through before he put them in the boot, and I was able to do a deal where we got 4 new additions to the collection. So the first one that we've got is Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back. What you'll be seeing as well is we do actually have gameplay footage now. I've actually managed to tweak my setup so that, yeah, I can more often than not capture the gameplay on the 2600 now. So for this one we paid £2.50 for that. Looking it up online, it goes for £15 on eBay. And yeah, from the footage you'll see that the first part of the game you're basically playing on Hoth, and the idea is to take out the AT-ATs. So yeah, good to have that one. The next one I haven't got any footage for because this wasn't a rabbit hole that I was able to go down at the moment. But this is Game Program Basic Programming. So what this will allow you to do is, I'm assuming, basically to program 2600 games. So yeah, it'll be an interesting one. I want to do a bit more research into this. I will admit I don't know anything about basic programming. Even though I was a Spectrum kid as a child, I just never got into basic programming. This one, once again, paid £2.50 for that. Looking it up online, it goes for £30 on eBay. And then the next one was one that I have wanted for absolutely ages, but just never found a copy out and about, and that is Joust. So this is a game where you essentially ride ostriches round, and you've got to basically take characters out by sort of jousting them. Absolutely brilliant game, an absolutely classic game, and yeah, really glad to finally have it in the collection. Paid £2.50 for that one. Goes for £20. No, it doesn't. It goes for £10 on eBay. And then the last one, I'm absolutely gutted that I could not get this one to work. And that is Donkey Kong Jr. Now, after doing a bit more research, I found out why I couldn't get it to work, because this is actually an NTSC cart. It wasn't actually released in PAL regions. So yeah, unfortunately, when I put it into my 2600, it just won't display properly. Obviously, that is because obviously it's NTSC. But it is in the collection. I will look to see if I can either get an NTSC console, or if my modified 2600 Junior might play it. So yeah, potentially I might be able to get that in sooner rather than later. But for that one we paid £2.50 again, and goes for £20 on eBay. As I say, couldn't find any listings on eBay UK. They were all US listings. And then the last thing that we got off Nikki was something that absolutely fascinated me, because I've never seen it before. And actually, since picking this up, I've actually found out that there are some games that are specifically designed to work with this add-on. So this is the 4-way play Electronic Arts adapter for the Sega Mega Drive. So this is basically a 4-port multi-tap for the Sega Mega Drive. And you'll see from the picture on the back, it plugs in both of the, plugs in over the controller ports, and then allows you to extend out to 4 ports. As I say, I have seen games since picking this up that actually do have this little 4-way play logo on them. So I think what I might actually try and do is I might try and get a list together of games that are compatible with this, and see if I can track them all down. I think it's mostly going to be like the sports games. I think it's like a hockey game. I think it was the one that I saw. But yeah, I just had to pick this up. The box is in absolutely pristine condition. It is amazing. But as I say, you've got a bit of wear, but in general, the box is absolutely amazing. I think it was really the box that sort of drew me in with this. So I paid £5 for this. Looking it up online, the only one that I could see online was priced up at £14. It was a US version, and the box was nowhere near as good as this one. So yeah, I don't actually know what these are worth, especially not in this condition. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put that up there for now. And yeah, as I say, I'm going to have a look around, see if I can try and track down a list with all the games that are sort of that support it, and yeah, we'll see how we get on with that. Alright, so getting back to some of the general pickups. Sorry, 2 seconds. So next up, I think once again this was another Lazy Bones pickup. It's actually another clock, and this is the Minecraft Creeper clock. So yeah, I saw it and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to have to pick it up, add it into our sort of growing Minecraft collection. So I'm just looking about. So we've got a couple of sort of models, figures, lights, clocks, and yeah, so anytime I see these I will always pick them up because I do think they're cool. And I will admit, I'm hoping in some time in the future to actually be able to set up a dedicated Minecraft shelf. But yeah, as I say, we'll just, that's all going to be space dependent, which we're very limited on at the moment. So paid £1 for that one. Looking it up online, they go for about £20 on eBay. Right, now getting back to the games. So we actually, I think this was the normal Sunday boot fair, and the seller there that I've picked up from sort of quite a bit recently. I think this might even have come from the seller that we got the fantastic N64 from. Was it? I don't know. Might have been them, might not have been. But they had a whole stack of Mega Drive games, so I did end up getting the whole lot that I saw. So the first one that we've got is Corporation on the Sega Mega Drive. I don't think this one doesn't have the manual. We paid £5 for this, and I will admit, playing this, I was really impressed. So this is essentially a I don't think it's a first-person shooter, but the whole game is played in a first-person perspective, and I thought I was so impressed with that. So impressed that someone was actually able to create a game like this for the Mega Drive. And yeah, I will say I was playing through it, and yeah, really enjoyed playing it. Definitely one that I want to sort of do a bit more research into the idea of the game. But yeah, definitely one I'm glad to have in the collection. I've seen it about quite a bit, but just never pulled the trigger on it. So yeah, I saw it there today and decided to grab it. So as I say, paid £5 for it. Goes for £6 at CEX and £9 on eBay. Then next up we have got Zoop. Now this was another game that I've seen around before but just never paid any attention to it, and this is basically a puzzle game. I don't know, I'll be honest, even after playing it I don't really know what sort of puzzle, and when I was playing it didn't really have a clue what I was doing. So the gameplay footage that I actually captured was very short. But obviously it was a Sega Mega Drive game. It was one that we didn't have in the collection, so yeah, I was gonna grab it. And as you've seen on the shelves, they are the Mega Drive section is getting really out of control now. I think we're probably, with the games that we picked up today, probably at about 4 shelves worth of 4 shelves of Mega Drive games now. So yeah, there will be in the future, I think just before I do the games room tour at the beginning of March, I'm going to have a massive sort out of the room and yeah, it's going to be a major reorganisation. So yeah, stay tuned for that. So with Zoop, we paid £5 for that. Couldn't find it listed on CEX, but goes for £14 on eBay. And then one of the games that I did pick up did actually turn out to be a double, and that was FIFA 95. So yeah, we have already got it, and actually it is sitting front and centre just there. But yeah, when I was out and about, I just saw Mega Drive. I was like, yeah, I'll have the lot. So paid £5 for that. It sells for about £8 on eBay. Couldn't see it listed on CEX. And then the last game that I got off this seller was PGA Tour 96. So this was, once again, it was not one that we had in the collection, and I think actually we've got quite a good selection of the PGA Tour games. I think we've got 1, 2 and 3, and if I remember rightly, I think this might be the last one that we needed. So potentially we have now got the full PGA Tour set on the Mega Drive. So for this one, paid £5 for that, goes for £4.50 on eBay. But to be quite honest, not really worried about sort of that 50p, because yeah, it's complete, and it's a Mega Drive game that we didn't have in the collection. Right, so moving on, we then picked up a couple of games from one of the sellers that we pick up from quite regularly, Lazy Bones. And I will say the last game that we've got here was actually a deal that I'd actually done, I think it was the week before, but yeah, we're including it in this video. So the first game that we've got is another Mega Drive game, but this time it is just car only, and that is Arch Rivals. So this is basically a cartoon style basketball game. Yeah, it wasn't, let's just say, it wasn't an NBA Jam. But equally, nice to have it in the collection. But I definitely think I'm going to play a basketball game on the Mega Drive. You just can't beat NBA Jam. And I think it's, yeah, it's a hard-fought one. But paid £3 for that. Looking it up online, it goes for about £7 on eBay. And then the next game we got, once again, was another Mega Drive game. But there is a bit of a story behind it. So this is Team USA Basketball. Now, when I picked it up, the case that it was in absolutely terrible condition. The cover was all ripped off. It was broken, bashed, everything like that. And the big problem with it was that it was an EA case. So obviously we have the bigger cartridge that goes inside, so you can't just get, I tend to find it's really hard to get hold of the decent condition EA cases if you try and get them second hand. So what I ended up doing was I actually picked up a copy of PGA Tour 3 on the Mega Drive, and I just done a case swap. So what I will say is the reason I've already done the case swap is because I've actually filmed, this is now the second time I'm filming this video. So I actually went through, filmed it all, done all the photography, as I say, cleaned all the cases, done all the case swaps, and then when I went to edit, because this was originally meant to be last week's video, but when I went to edit it, I couldn't find the pickups footage. So it's got deleted somewhere along the line. Before I transferred it to the computer. So yeah, I'm actually now refilming it the day before the video goes live. So yeah, that was why there's actually a couple of bits in the video that I've actually sort of left out, just because either I've put them away somewhere and sort of just can't find them. But yeah, that is why this one is actually in the good case now, instead of the bad case. So pay £2.50 for that, goes for £10 on eBay. And then I also pay £2.50 for PGA Tour 3. So essentially, pay £2.50 for a replacement case. Alright, so next up, moving on, we've got a couple of Switch games. And first one that we've got was LOL Surprise Remix, We Rule the World. And I have to say, this isn't my sort of game. Straight off the bat, I knew that before picking it up, but it was a Switch game, so that was the big reason for picking it up. This, I would say, is nightmare fuel. It really, really is. When you first load into the game and you see your character, it is, yeah, the graphics are just something else. And and yeah, you look at your character, and yeah, it is just unabridged nightmare fuel. But essentially what you do in this is it's a collection of mini games, and you sort of go around and complete the games. But as I say, the big reason for picking it up was more because it had actually been on his stall for quite a few weeks. So yeah, I was like, do you know what, I'm just going to grab it to help sort of bolster the Switch collection. So I ended up paying £5 for that. Goes for £12 at CEX, £14 on eBay. Right, so next one, as I say, we've got another Switch game, and this one is Arcade Sprites. Now, if you remember back a couple of weeks to the CEX video that we done, I actually said that there was a game in an upcoming video that I got confused with. What is it? Arcade Paradise. So I'm just looking at the PS4 shelf where I got it. And yeah, originally when I picked this up, I actually thought it was Arcade Paradise. I saw arcade in the title, and yeah, just went sort of tunnel vision. I was like, yeah, brilliant. I mean, after that. Now this one is completely different. So this is a visual novel, and you basically play a character who has recently lost her job. And she actually approaches this family-run arcade and starts working for them. And the whole idea is to basically sort of work with them as they sort of build up the arcades. From what I've played so far, it's an interesting story. I don't know if I'm going to put too much time into it at the moment. But yeah, definitely, it potentially could be okay. For this one, we paid £5 for that. It goes for £6 at CEX and £7 on eBay. And then the deal that I actually done with this seller the week before was actually for a PS2 game, but at the time they had the wrong case for it, and so it was just a disc. So in order to get the value out of it, he actually did have the case at home for it. So this is actually two different games. So the first one that we've got is Dot Hack Part 2 Mutilation. So with this one, it had the DVD for Part 1, which we've already got Part 1 in the collection. So the DVD, I probably will look to just sell on. I think it goes for about £11 on eBay. But for Part 2, it didn't come with the DVD, but it did have the manual. So what I'll do is, once again, I'll try and track down the DVD for this to make it complete. And yeah, I thought these were interesting games. I've never spent any time really playing them, but did play through it and sort of got footage for it. So for this one, we paid £20 for that. Goes for about £25 on eBay. I'll start again. Paid £20 for this. Goes for £25 at CEX and about £40 on eBay. And then the main one that I got, and that was the big reason for doing this deal, was Dot Hack Part 4 Quarantine, the final chapter. And the reason that this one was the big one was because this is the rarer out of the series. So I paid £30 for that. Looking it up online, it goes for £70 at CEX, £90 on eBay. So yeah, really happy to have this one in the collection. I think out of the whole series now, the only one that I'm missing is Part 3. So yeah, hopefully at some point in the future I'll pick it up. It's not a game that I've got to have right away. It'll just be nice at some point to complete the set. So yeah, with this one, doesn't come with the DVD or the manual, so I will look to track those down. I think I've seen the manual sell for about £20. So that would take it up to £50, and yeah, I'll just have to keep my eye out for the DVD. But yeah, as I say, picked it up, and yeah, quite glad to have them both in the collection now. Right, okay, so two games that I haven't got to hand. They're not really big deals. I did pick up a copy of Connect Sport and Connect Sport Season 2 on the Xbox 360. The reason I picked those up was when I was sorting through the 360 games and actually sort of condensing down, I didn't see a physical copy of Connect Sports. and for some reason I decided to pick up a copy at the boot fair, completely forgetting that I actually had about 5 copies sitting in a box that I normally take to the boot fair to sell. So yeah, I ended up paying 50p for that. And I'll be honest, I think that now has gone in a boot fair box, and that's probably why I haven't got it to hand. And then with season 2, it was there, so I just decided to grab them both together, because I actually thought that season 2 had some value on eBay, which unfortunately it doesn't. So yeah, paid 50p for that. It sells for £2 at CEX, £4.50 on eBay, and trades in for an 80p voucher. So yeah, once again, that went in my boot fair box, and has probably gone now, I think. Right, so next up, I'm just going to show, got a bundle of Pokemon cards. Paid £6 for this. Nothing special, it is just literally bulk. But yeah, decided to pick it up so that I could potentially fill in some gaps in my collection. And I'm just looking through, and I have actually missed something that I have got sitting on the table. Right, yeah, should have been after the Mega Drive games. So, while I was at, I think this one was from the normal Sunday boot fair, and it's a VHS, and it's a VHS of a film that I watched when I was a kid, absolutely loved it, and sort of forgot about it until probably about 3 or 4 years ago, where I was on my sort of... So there is a film that I watched when I was younger, and I actually remember we actually rented it from Sid Cup Blockbuster. And I remember it was right at the top of it was a two-floor Blockbuster, and it was actually on the top floor in the first rack after the stairs. Now, I remember that, but I can't remember the name of the film. And every time I describe it, no one ever knows what it is. So I don't know whether I'm thinking of something completely different. It was a fever dream or something like that, but I just can never find out what this film was. And what I tend to do is probably at least once a year, I will sit down and I will try and see if I can find this film. And I'll give you a bit of so the way that I describe it is I remember watching the film, and you've got 2 kids. They go to a video store in a strip mall in America, and pick up this VHS, and they ended up getting sucked into it. Now, a lot of people, whenever I explain it, always say, "Oh, it's Pleasantville." I'm like, no, it's not Pleasantville. This was released long before Pleasantville ever come out. And yeah, I just cannot remember. I can remember that sort of certain screens had like a purple overlay. But yeah, for the life of me, I cannot remember what this film is. But yeah, in recent years, when I've sort of looked up the film, for some reason, then this one ended up coming back on my radar. So I think I then I downloaded a copy. And then I have had this on VHS before, but I actually resold it. I'm just going to dive in because I've been talking about everything but, and that is a big box copy of The Monster Squad. So this is a film about a group of kids that are obsessed with monsters, and basically some of the Universal monsters basically come into their town and start trying to take it over. So you've got Dracula, the Wolfman, the Thing from the Black Lagoon, the Mummy, and Frankenstein. And actually one of the children befriends Frankenstein through the film. And yeah, the whole idea is that they're actually trying to send Dracula back through a portal that was originally Van Helsing tried to open it. And yeah, really, really good film. If you haven't seen it, definitely look to track it down. It is pure 80s glory. That's probably the best way to describe it. And yeah, actually, do you know what? I think I'm probably going to give this a watch again tonight. So yeah, found this for £1 at the boot fair. Looking them up online, they go for about £30 on eBay. So yeah, I've got a couple of Big Boss VHSs now in the collection. I've only got about 3 or 4, I think. I know the other one that I've got is Back to the Future 2 in big box. I would like to get all of the Back to the Futures in big box format because, yeah, I absolutely love those films. So yes, I do have sort of some other obsessions other than gaming, but yeah, I will admit I do absolutely love watching sort of films. I will admit more modern stuff I tend to sort of gloss over, even sort of like some of the big stuff that I know is good, just haven't had a chance to watch yet. But getting back to the games, we then also had a big bundle of games that we picked up from a seller at the normal Sunday boot fair. And I've picked up from this guy quite a lot. Whenever I've seen him there, I've normally got at least a handful of games off him. And this time, yeah, got some really good titles. So first one that we've got is another Switch game, and that is 1-2 Switch. So this was, I originally thought that this was a release game for the Switch, but I don't think it is. I think this is one that came out just after. Yeah, it was one that I've been wanting to pick up for a while, and yeah, it was more just to sort of add it into the collection. So paid £10 for that. Goes for £15 at CEX, £12 on eBay. Then we've got One Piece Pirate Warrior. So I've seen loads of people talk about the One Piece anime. I've never watched it, never actually done anything with any of the sort of the anime, the manga, the games, anything. This was the first time that I'd ever interacted with it, and I have to say I love this game. I really enjoyed this. This is definitely one I'm going to go back to, put a bit more time into, and sort of play through the story a bit more. So for this one we paid £10 for that again. It goes for £12 at CEX, £17 on eBay. Unfortunately it doesn't come with the manual, but even still the actual case is in really good condition. And then when I actually got home, looked in the case, there was actually also a Sega GT 2002 and Jet Set Radio bundle disc for the original Xbox. So looking that one up online, they sell for about £20 on eBay, so I'm probably going to flip that one on eBay, and yeah, get some money back. And then these lot I actually got in a second deal. So I'd already done the first deal and I was getting ready to go, and then I saw these games. I think originally I saw some of them where someone else was looking for them or looking at them, and I was hoping that they wouldn't take them because I hadn't seen them the first time round. Yeah, this is the last game that I got in that second bundle, and this is Guilty Gear X2, the Midnight Carnival Reload. That's a bit of a, so no, sorry, it's Guilty Gear X2 #Reload, the Midnight Carnival. So this one is complete, which is good. And yeah, I've been picking up quite a few of the Guilty Gear games recently. I think starting back towards the beginning, the middle part of the year, where we've done a CEX hunt, and I got a Guilty Gear game there. And then yeah, I've been seeing them more and more. So yeah, whenever I do see them, I do tend to pick them up. Actually, really enjoy these. Good sort of one-on-one fighters. And yeah, pay £10 for that. Goes for £15 at CEX, £12 on eBay. And then the last couple of games, these were the first bundle of games that I got off this seller. So the first one is actually an upgrade for a game that we've already got recently, and that is Layer on the PS3. So this was one of the launch titles for the PS3, and actually uses the motion control in the 6-axis controller. So yeah, the other copy that we got didn't have the manual. So when I saw this there, it had the manual, so I decided to grab it. This one paid £2 for that, goes for £2.50 at CEX and £5 on eBay. Then diving into the PS4 games, we've got Digimon Survive. I will admit I haven't really done anything with the Digimon series, but yeah, as I say, once again, it was one that I saw there, didn't have, very much along the same sort of lines. Basically it's a parody of the Pokemon games is the way I look at Digimon. But yeah, from what I've sort of played of it so far, graphics look really good, and yeah, it's got the potential to be a really good game. So paid £6 for that, goes for £10 at both CEX and eBay. And then the last PS4 game that we got was Natural Doctrine. Now this is a turn-based RPG, and yeah, it was an interesting one. It is based in the what I would sort of class as your sort of medieval type theming. So it's all sort of like swords and sort of things like that. But yeah, from what I played of it, it was actually really good. I think I actually worked my way through the whole first level. Yeah, it'd be one that I might have a go again in the future. But yeah, it wasn't one that we had, so I decided to pick it up. That one, paid $7.50 for that, goes for £5 at CEX, £10 on eBay. And then the last few games that we actually got 3 PS5 games from this seller as well. So the first one that we've got is Shadow Warrior Definitive Edition. Shadow Warrior 3, sorry, Definitive Edition. And yeah, I'll be honest, I've never played any of the Shadow Warrior games, but after playing this to capture footage for, I'm definitely going to keep my eye out for the other 2. I think there are actually more after this one. But yeah, definitely going to keep my eye out for the original 2. Because yeah, I thought this was really good, sort of real sort of comedic value, and yeah, just really enjoyed it. Sort of it's a hack and slash. So yeah, definitely one that we're going to spend a bit more time on. That one, paid $7.50 for that, goes for £10 at CEX, £15 on eBay. This next one I haven't actually captured any footage for because it is an online only game, and at the moment I don't have a PS Plus subscription on my PS5. That is Outriders World Slayer. It does say as well it also includes the original Outriders. But I don't know if that is an offline game. But yeah, I'll be honest, I picked it up. I never actually noticed that it had sort of an online only requirement until I got home. So yeah, a bit bummed out about that, but hey ho. Paid £6 for that, goes for £5 at CEX, £10 on eBay. And then the last game that we got was Forspoken. So I will admit I didn't get too far in this. I probably only played it for about sort of 15-20 minutes, which is actually sort of too early to really make an opinion on it, because I don't think the story actually kicks in until sort of a bit after where I sort of cut it off. So yeah, it's definitely one that I'm going to go back to and put a bit more time into, and actually sort of play it through, see how the sort of story pans out. From what I've seen, it looks like a really good game, and definitely what I've played so far is looking like it could be a really good game. But yeah, definitely, as I say, it's one that I'm going to go back to and spend a bit more time on before I really sort of come to any conclusion on it. So for this one, paid £6 for that, goes for £10 on both CEX and eBay. And yeah, that is it. So before we wrap up, let's quickly run through the totals. So our total spend today was £223.50. If we bought everything that we could from CEX, we would have paid £296. And then if we got everything from eBay, it would have been £614.50. So yeah, some really good games that we've got there, some really good additions to the collection, and yeah, I will say I'm really happy with what we spent. In with that as well, we've also got the potential for an £8.80 voucher. I'll be honest, I think the only game that I am probably going to trade in will be GTA 5. But yeah, other than that, that is going to be it for today's video. So this is the last game hunt video for 2024. I will say that I am hoping to have another video out on Sunday, so keep your eye on the channel for that. And then next week, I think it's going to be Tuesday, or might be Wednesday. No, it'll be... it probably will be Wednesday, because that'll be the 1st of Jan. We'll be doing our aims for 2025 video. So a video that I do every year where I look back at the aims for 2024, and then I sort of set some aims that I want to achieve in the collection for 2025. So yeah, that video will be going live on the 1st of January.
And then obviously from then we'll be getting back to normal with the game hunt videos, and I'm also looking to try and ramp up the videos now, getting back to sort of 2 videos a week. I am working on a couple of different videos at the moment, so fingers crossed you'll start seeing a lot more content from me. But with that said, that is going to wrap up today's video. But before you head off, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that like button, and if you're not already, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell to be kept up to date when those new videos go live. And yeah, with that said, thank you so much for watching today. Really hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Alright, bye.